take a deep look at the Aegis IDRIS. Okay, so the Aegis IDRIS has grown on me, to be quite honest. Initially, I wasn't really interested in the Aegis IDRIS, and reason being is it was initially tied to Squadron 42's release. And as we know for years, Squadron 42, we never know when it will actually come out. They always promise, oh, it's next year or the next 2 years. The time comes, we don't see it. And it's because the Idris has been tied to it, I never even considered it as a potential ship that I could ever want. So I never even considered looking at it. I didn't know what it was about. I just knew that it was a big ship. So now, CIG then releases the Idris by surprise. Due to what they're saying, Idris is different from what's in Squadron 42 as opposed to this current one. So that's the reasoning behind releasing it now. So let's take a deep look at what this ship is about. And so the Aegis IDRIS, phenomenal looking ship. I'm actually surprised at how good it actually looked. Yeah, so at your command, the Idris Peacekeeper, for the leaders and virtuous and truly courageous, the Idris Peacekeeper has arrived, a ship that that secures our past and continues to define our future. The steadfast tactical civilian class, the incarnation of the UEEN Darling, is available to fly for the first time, whilst maintaining the same potential for destruction and fighter capacity as a military sister ship. The Idris M, the newly flyable Idris Peacekeeper, combined with the K and the T kits, allow our crew to completely customize their desired artillery as incredible accomplishments in tactical ship building. That's what sets it so different. That's what makes it so different, right? I own the Polaris. I kind of wish when they released the Idris, when they released the Polaris, they availed kits to allow us to customize it. Right now, the Polaris is a one-trick horse, or one-trick. I don't even know what's the wording for it, what's the phrase for it, but it's a one-trick ship essentially, right? Torpedoes, that's it. I kind of wish they released kits similar to the way they released kits for the Idris. This way we can customize the Polaris in a similar way. With the release of the Idris, that's what appeals to me. It's the way you can customize it to fit different roles. You can have like 3 separate Idrises in the same fleet and they all do different things. That is so cool to me. The Polaris, I love the Polaris, one my favorite ship in the game, but it's a one-trick ship, right? And the fact that they released the Idris, the T kit allows it to even become a much more powerful torpedo boat. So they make it better in that way, but the Polaris is still probably the most dangerous ship out there still. You know what I mean? Honestly, I think that's probably the sickest ship video they've ever done thus far. I think that's the sickest. Like, the way they came out and released the Idris is so epic. They made it so appealing, right? So let's make this. All right. They made it so appealing. Another reason why I like it, and it's not even because they made it so appealing, is it's just customization. I'm an org leader. I need a big ship. You know what I mean? So it appeals to me in so many different ways. I want to do a lot of RP stuff. I want to do a lot of gameplay stuff. I have to have the ship. So it just appeals to me. I didn't know it looked that good, to be quite honest, until they released it. So there's a few videos on it. There's a few images they got here. So this is the hangar for it. This is it when you don't have any kits on it. So this is there's no main gun or torpedo attachment to it or railgun. And another image here. So extraordinary defense, full surround artillery, boasted 8 manual turrets and 6 PDCs with mounts for 5 more. The Idris defense capability cover all angles of enemy attack, allowing you to stay on a mission and never back down. Man, bro, if you guys haven't seen I did a what do you call it, an Idris fleet battle, kind of like a fleet battle video on the gameplay channel, and that experience, like all the org mates will tell you, man, that was such an extraordinary experience to fight with the Idris. It was pretty epic. It was pretty epic. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you go check it out. Polaris mobility makes it dangerous. Did you see Avenger 1's video? He found the soft belly spot insta soft death Idris's. Yes, I know, which proves that the Idris, it doesn't mean because you have an Idris out there means you're gonna win, right? An Idris will not last out there without support ships. So if you're gonna fly an Idris, you gotta be rolling with ideally 2 Polarises to support it. When they come up with the Perseus, maybe 3 Perseuses behind it, 2 Perseuses and a Polaris all behind it, and they all stick together. Kind of like what we saw in the Squadron 42 gameplay reveal, right? The Admiral had all his ships lined up, and they were all together, and they all protected each other. Nobody went too far ahead, nobody stayed too far back. They all stuck together and they protected each other. And there was a scenario where one of the javelins were getting a lot of bombers attacking it, and the Admiral told one of the other javelins to come over and give it turret support. That's how capital ships are supposed to be fighting. So you cannot take an Idris there by itself. As Avenger 1 just showed, you cannot do one Idris. You gotta have Idris and support crafts with it. Some other capital class support ships like the Polaris, Perseus, when it comes out, you're gonna also need some gunships. You're also gonna need some tallies, all to support the Idris. All right, so that's my view on it, or else you're gonna get killed immediately. Like, even though the Idris is released, the most dangerous ship in the sky is the RSI Polaris. Even if they got the size 12s on the T-kit for the Idris, it's not going to compete with the Polaris. Why? Because the Polaris will fly circles around the Idris, and the Polaris only needs 1 torp to take out an Idris, right? So Polaris still remains as king when you look at it, right? When it comes to 1-to-1 battle, 1 versus 1 battles, the Polaris still remains as the most dangerous ship. If I was to go into a fleet battle and I see 2 Idrises and a Polaris, I'm more concerned about the Polaris than the Idrises. I'm just going to be quite honest with you. I'm going to take out the Polaris first before anything else. Just my thoughts. The great Polaris melt of all time when the Idris came out. Yes, including me. I don't think the Polaris right now is already nerfed. The torpedoes are useless unless you're dumbfired. It's already nerfed. They nerfed it some more. They made it slower than what it used to be. Like, how much nerfing do you need to do to make the Idris more viable? I don't know. You know, the Polaris is meant to be nimble and very powerful. That's what it's built for. It was built to kill it was built to take out big Vandal capital ships, right? So I don't think they should nerf it that much. If they're gonna nerf it, it shouldn't be that much. The Idris is looking good. It's looking really good. The gravity generator, engine room. This is a weak point. I think I've seen a video where the engine room is like in one location. So you take out that one, you damage that area, you essentially disable the ship. All right. The bridge is awesome. Like, I haven't even seen the whole ship yet, to be quite honest. but it has a lot of space to explore. There's a theater room too. It's crazy. Medical facilities. It's essentially a hospital. All right, so now technical specs, right? So by default, the Polaris, I believe, there's a manual nose turret with 2 size 5s, very, very strong. And then 2 size 5, 7 manual turrets that you can also have attached. 2 size 5s, 2 size 4s on each, and then you're looking at some size 2 PDCs. You get some cargo space to work with, so it makes the Polaris such a viable option for a capital ship. So good. I really like the Marauder paint. It's my favorite one, I think, out of all of them. So now there are some people that have the military version of this, the Idris M, a military legend, the first and most powerful, most awe-inspiring incarnation of the Idris, is ready to fly for those lucky few qualified pilots who made the grade and committed to excellence. So how do people get the M again? Because right now you can't get the M, I believe, right? So this is the base. On the left is the T. When you have the T kit, you get the ballistic gun on the top and also the torpedo on as the main arsenal. And then the K kit, you get the laser, and then you get the size 7, the size 5 turret at the top here, right? Many options. Very expensive. We all know about this. If you want to get one. So now I also wanted to look at the technical specs of this thing. Few things that I noticed about the Polaris kits. Hold on, let me quickly look at something here. All right, so more information about the kit. So the P base stats: pilot controlled 1 size 10 hardpoint, right? Turrets is 1 manual turret with 2 size 5, which is swappable, and then 5 size 2 PDCs, which are, these are empty if you don't have any kits with the P. So now the K kit, which makes it the Idris K unofficially, will be, you get the 1 size 10 beam gun. In addition to that, 1 manual turret with 2 times size 7 missile launchers, which is 32 size 3 missiles. Holy crap, that's a lot. That's actually a lot. So that's this right here. That's actually that's a lot. Damn. Okay. 5 size 2 laser repeaters PDCs, and then you get the Marauder paint, which is this right here, right? So now what makes this interesting, and the strategy that CIG went with, I don't blame them, because it encourages you to want to get both kits. If I get an Idris, I think I'm going to be keen to getting both kits, because both kits have some parts that I want, right? So now with the T kit, you get a Polaris, you get 1 torpedo launcher with 4 size 12 torp tubes, which is gives you a total of 20 torpedoes, which is crazy. That's the biggest torpedoes we have in the game. All right. But what makes this an issue right now is torpedoes kind of suck, because PDCs destroy them before they can hit anything. Also, the Idris is very slow, so you can't really go up to another ship really and torp them unless they're really like oblivious to what's going on, right? It now also comes with 5 size 2 missile PDCs. So now these are essential. I think these missile PDCs are going to be so essential. So I want to have a K kit, with some missile PDCs. But the way CIG's done it is they put the missile PDCs here in the T kit and not in the K kit. So now I'm encouraged to go get both because I want the missile PDCs. Also, it also comes with one manual turret with 2 size 7 bespoke ballistic cannons. I also want that ballistic cannon. So the way I would build my Polaris, I would swap out this missile turret at the top and the front, replace it with the main size 7, the size 7 turret. Can I get an image of it? Replace it with a size 7. So now it can inflict some serious damage. The size 7s are going to be very deadly. They're going to be so key, especially in battle. Size 7s, if you get the shields down of another Idris, use those size 7s on their gun. You can disable the gun very quickly with these size 7 ballistics. So I'm going to want this with the laser plus maybe 2 size 2 missile PDCs, and then everything else will be laser. All the other PDCs will be laser, but 2, right? Because fighters, missiles are so good right now in the game, it's crazy. So if you can get at least 1 missile to lock on a fighter that comes in range, and it automatically locks and sends, it's over. It's over. Polaris is a hit and run force multiplier. The M was back in the day when it was Kickstarter. Oh, okay. $15,000 package, or when it was available many years ago. Damn. And how much was it back then? You got the M back in the day when it was a Kickstarter and it was going for 1K. Damn. It almost doubled. Now you can only get it in a pack. That's crazy. Cannot get the Idris anymore. Only gray market. Besides, big 15K package. Is the TAC worth it? It's gonna be up to you. Go rent it and check it out, man. It's rentable. Is it missed day still? It should be rentable, man. But here's the thing, right? Foxy Loxy did a video where you can detach the railgun from an M and attach it to another Idris, and then you can get the railgun. And then I think yeah, you can. That's what's so cool about it. Like, you have somebody that has the kits that you want, you can attach and detach those components in the PU, and then I think there's a way of doing that, right? So essentially, if you want to build an M Idris, it's still possible, I think, unless CIG finds a way to stop that, but I don't think they should. I don't think they should do that. All right. But yeah, the Idris is an epic ship. I really like it. I really like it. So now if we can get, like, I would keep the missile, the size 7 missile launcher turret, if we can get reloadable, if you can like reload them automatically, you know, if that was a thing, because that's going to be pretty devastating. 32 size 3s, damn. That's the thing. Like, this is what makes it so good. The customization of these ships. The customization. You can mix and match all the different components you get from the kits to build it for the purpose that you need it for. You know what I mean? So those are my thoughts on the Idris.